So, hi and welcome back to the Imperfect Recycled Podcast. This is our second ever episode, which I'm really looking forward to. I think the first one went down a really big success, and keep those subscribes and views going. We are loving it. It was very new for us, and we had a lot of positive feedback, and people really enjoy the podcast. So, hopefully, you'll enjoy this one as well. So, it's obviously me here, the Imperfect Recyclist, with my wonderful co-host, as always, Tyler. Say hi, Tyler.
Hi, that is the second week in a row you've introduced me as the wonderful co-host. I'm beginning to think you're trying to butter me up for something.
Yeah, I really want like a nice bar of chocolate, please.
Again,
I
after
like
every other
chocolate.
bar of chocolate that I bought you.
I really like chocolate. What can I say? So,
Juggy,
but
juggy, juggy.
juggy. But what are we doing today?
Today, our podcast is going to be primarily focused around upcycling and about what you can do with certain items, do's and don'ts about upcycling, and basically just talking about the whole upcycling in general and sort of what you can do. Obviously, Vicky's going to handle a lot of it, and I'm going to put my opinion in anyway because Vicky knows a lot, and I mean a lot about this subject. So I'll let you take the lead, and then I'll jump in every now and again just to question some of your points, just to keep you on your toes a little bit.
Oh, I love a bit of that. You know me. But yeah, I'm
Yes.
a big upcycling fan. I've been upcycling for quite a long time, I think. I think it was like my mum. We've done a lot of projects together on upcycling, but I think one of my favourite upcycling projects is I've got this like, I guess you would call it like an IKEA storage unit, like those basic wooden ones with the little wooden drawers everyone has. And everyone has it so basic and plain. But I got given it like gifted when I was probably like 7 or 8, and it was like pink with butterflies. And as we all know, pink isn't my colour at all. So
Vicky is
I
not a butterfly girl.
I am not a butterfly girl. Apparently I was when I was younger, but not anymore.
Not now.
But I sanded it down and painted it red and blue and realised it was a guide in colours, and I just sat there for, I think I had it painted for like over a year and just hated it. Could not stand the thing. So I sanded it down again like a year or two after I painted it, hideous as always, and me, my sister and my mum, we sat in the kitchen like at midnight decoupaging it, so it's like taking different types of tissue paper and gluing it on. We didn't repaint the base or anything. We didn't really feel like it needed it. I think some parts got a bit of white as a base coat, like the drawers. That was probably it. And then obviously just watered down PVA glue, and it is incredible. Like there are lots of like pastel, obviously pink again, but it's like got purples and blues, and like it has like a sort of like vintage vibe. The papers, they're like the range craft tissue papers, like the fancy ones, which aren't as cheap as Hobbycraft. Don't go Hobbycraft. They're stupidly expensive if you want paper. Or another way if you want to do it is like old wallpaper or wrapping paper samples. I know we went into the range and I had to take a few samples because when you're
A few.
upcycling, you want things to be cheap. You want it to be as low cost as possible, and wallpaper samples is such a good one. We've still got to go B&Q and grab some. Like, I don't know what I'm using these wallpaper samples for, but they're really good for like decorating the fronts of notebooks and all things like that. I just like taking things that you wouldn't usually think about using and then reusing it, and that's the whole point of upcycling. It's not to buy something new and repurpose it, it's to get an old thing for as low cost as possible and turn it into something that would look really expensive and fancy. And other upcycling projects I've done is like I've got notice boards in my room, and it used to be like purple, and then I think it was like a baby pink, like to match my walls when I was younger. And then to go with my grey themed bedroom, I painted it white, just like a basic white colour, and then did some dark grey splatters, which is the colour of my wall, to complement it. And it looks really good on the wall. But I am now tempted to get pegboard, but I don't need one. So I'm not going to do
No.
unnecessary buying for a pegboard. They do look pretty, but Do I need it? No. So I'm not gonna bother buying it. Because impulse buying, I think, is a really big thing of why people get rid of so much stuff all the time. Because they go, I want it, and then they have stuff and they're like, I don't know what to do with it. They give it away, and then that's where the magic people come along and do all their upcycling.
I'd say that is quite a key point because even with like online shopping, if something breaks, their or even if it goes out of fashion, their immediate reaction is, oh, I'm going to buy something else. It's like a big thing is like you get like shoes and phones that go out of fashion like every 5 months. So you buy a phone, and in 5 months you want another one because it's gone out of fashion. There's a new one that's come out. Um, and I've seen loads of things online where it's like you buy one pair of shoes, and within the next week there's two more pairs that have come out.
Fast
And
fashion.
exactly, but obviously me and you have looked over this quite a lot. But there's like different designs that you can not upcycle shoes, but you can like turn them into something cool, like with paint splatters on white shoes. Or there was these shoes that we saw in Asda, wasn't they? And they had like the
Yeah,
embroidered flowers on them.
they're
And it's like
beautiful.
if exactly, but if you have the know-how and the ability to do it, even if you don't, you can learn. But it's like you can transform something from something old to something amazing. Like I'm going to bring this up because I think it's a sick idea. But the jeans that you're going to be doing, you bought a pair of
Uh,
jeans, didn't you?
I did. I bought a pair of jeans really cheap. I don't usually like wearing jeans, and all the jeans I wear, I've got are like too big for me now. So I'm gonna either cut them up and put them into something new, or I'm gonna give them to a charity shop because I haven't got a need for them. There's no need to put them in a bin because they're still good for someone. They're just too big for me. So I bought a pair of like, the sort of like straight leg, sort of like not tight jeans, and they look really cool, like the 90s look. And
But
yeah,
they
I'm
fit
gonna.
really well as well, didn't they?
They look so cool, and it's weird because they've got like holes in the legs, and I'm like, and I stuck my foot through the hole. It wasn't a good. It just wasn't a good moment for me.
You made the hole even bigger.
I did. It's just now a pair of shorts at this point. No, but I'm gonna mention this one lady. She is on Instagram if you want to look her up. Her Instagram is Silly Girl Club, and she takes old, like, nostalgic 90s retro bed sheets, so, like, your childhood bedding of, like, Disney or, like, The Simpsons. She takes it all in and she upcycles it into, like, beautiful clothing. She makes her own bum bags out of it, pocket t-shirts, denim jackets, she does the back of them, like, pins, badges, you name it. She pretty much does it all, like, little bits of jewellery, and it's incredible what she's doing, and she probably won't listen to this, but I just thought I'd mention her. I love her work. It's my dream to own one of her denim jackets. Like, she did one with like an old 90s Lion King duvet, and we all know how much I love Lion King, and
We all know Vicky
it
loves
was like a
the
little
Lion King.
fangirl moment.
But why would obviously I know it's going off the topic, but you wouldn't want to own one because you could do one yourself
That
if
is
you had
true.
if you had the equipment and the uh, the items to do so. You wouldn't need to buy one because you could make your own one.
I don't have the bedding.
See, that's the problem. See,
Yeah,
you'd have to do a different design, wouldn't you?
but I
But
haven't
we
got
all know
any.
Vicky loves Lion King.
Lion King's like my all-time favorite film. But I
Yeah,
want
I
you to
know.
tell me, Tyler, what is a couple of upcycling projects you've endeavoured on recently? Because I know there's been a few we've worked on, or you've worked on with your sister. You've worked on quite a few recently.
Yeah, well, there hasn't. I haven't done too many, but that's because my recycling slash upcycling journey hasn't been too long, so it
Exactly.
hasn't been going on for a very long time. But um, one of my I don't know if you can count it as an upcycling project, but one of my projects was when I was about 15.
Back in
I
the
had
day,
back in the day when Tyler was an absolute rebel. No, I'm joking.
you
I was
wish.
I was a good kid.
Little angel.
Little Halo. Uh, I had an obsession with football boots, um, and I still do, to be fair. But I've just learned to calm it down quite a
It's
lot.
just a very sad obsession, not like my art supply. We don't talk about that.
Donut. But I had a very big obsession with football boots, and every week I'd want a new pair, or like every month I'd buy a new pair of football boots. And in the end, I ran out of money to buy football boots. So I said, how can I turn these old boots into something that's brand new, that looks amazing, and I enjoyed? So I don't know if you can count it as an upcycling project, but I hadn't worn these boots for about half a year.
Oh no, half a
So
year, what a shame.
I know, but then if you understand football boots, Vicky, the inner goes really funny, the outer leather, if they're made out of leather, goes really hard. So it's like, you got to learn about these things, but don't mug me off. But I bought a set of Sharpies, so different colour Sharpies, and I went at those football boots with those Sharpies. I did different patterns over them. I did different designs, and they actually looked really, really sick.
I would love to
I
see
don't,
them, but I don't think
I
you've got
don't,
a photo.
I don't think I don't have them anymore. I
Not
did
even a
give them
picture.
away. No, because this is when I was 15 and I took
What
them
a
on one of my older
letdown.
phones. But in the end, I did give them away. You know those clove banks that are at the side of the road
Yeah.
sometimes? I put them in there and I gave them away. It really broke my heart, but I needed to because I thought if I don't, I'm just going to hoard what I have. And I think that's a big important thing is
Good
don't hoard.
mindset. Don't hoard. Don't be a
Exactly.
Vicky. But I think
Well,
that's kind
yeah.
of, in a way, a bit like a restoration project, but I think that's kind of what upcycling is, like restoring it but giving it a twist to what it kind of was, because you don't want things to look boring and dull. If you're getting like a really old, like grubby chest of drawers, you want them to look nice. Like most of my furniture, I'm gonna admit it, my desk is second hand, my wardrobe is, my chest of drawers is all second hand, but they're all good as new. I just decorate them with like stickers and posters and postcards, and I hang things on them to make them look nice. I haven't like gone out my way to change it. I've just done little
Yeah.
like tweaks, and it makes it my own. Like my desk, it doesn't need it. It's just got all my art stuff over it. I sit here like every day. It's always a mess. Oh, I just hit my laptop with my paintbrush.
Vicky.
Sorry. So
Well,
I just,
another one
yeah,
that I've
carry on.
done
Oh yeah, of course.
is I obviously I have a chest of drawers that is right next to my bed, it's like a bedside table, and it was a brown and it was a brown
Ew.
top and um, obviously black drawers, and obviously it was getting really really grubby because I'm really clumsy, so I'd spilt coffee on it, I'd chipped it away, and and it looked really bad. So one day I said it needs to be done. I need to change it. So what I did, I sanded it all down and I went over it with like a matte grey,
Ooh.
like quite a light grey, and it looked at the time it looked really good. We have to do it again soon because it is gone back to the way it was, but it did look really good at the time. And I think when you upcycle something, it gives you that sense of accomplishment as well, because sometimes you can stand back and you can go, you know what, I've actually done really well.
Dumb bitch, you know.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want you to take the mick out of me.
Oh no, someone had to say it.
Done bits.
We've done a couple of other projects. So we've done some benches in my garden. I had a little
Mm.
childhood bench, which was like mine as a kid, like that little small bench like every household has with the little zoo animals, and a big classic bench. We sanded them down. I mean, Tyler sanded them down, and then we painted the blue one, and then my mum, like the little one's now blue, and the big one's now purple, but it just needs another coat, but we haven't bothered doing it yet. And I've got to redecorate the shed. Can't wait to show you that one. That's going to be amazing. We've also done bottle bird feeders. So simple. Literally, upcycling should not cost you much money at all. It should be household essential items that you might have in the house, or literally next to nothing craft supplies. If you're artsy like me, I hardly ever buy my upcycling supplies because I've got them. It's maybe replenishing my paint or my pens, something simple, or if I need some new string or tape or glue. It's that simple basic thing. We've also
Yeah.
done a bag out of a
Yeah, we have
t-shirt.
done a bag, haven't we?
We did that on call with each other and it was so much fun. And I think upcycling should just be fun, enjoyable. You can get your creative juices flowing, and it is, and it
Ooh,
should. And I stand by this. It should be cheaper than buying something brand new, because if you're throwing it out
it
and
doesn't
getting
cost you
something
anything.
new, I'm sure you can find a way to fix it. I had a whiteboard. It was like a cheap little whiteboard sort of thing. It was like on, like the cardboard and the thing, and it had a plastic frame. The frame broke. I just duct taped mine up. It still works. I use it. It's a whiteboard.
See, but the thing is, obviously, there are some people that might take away from this that they have to keep everything
No, don't keep
that they
everything.
have. So, if there is something that is like ridiculously broken, don't feel like you have to try and fix it because sometimes you can't fix it.
It's
Sometimes it is
okay.
time to let go of it and go, you know what? I am going to need to buy something like that. So, like, if you have a chair with only three legs, don't go, you know what? I'm going to try and stick a leg to it. Chuck the chair out
Get a new one,
or
but
break it
take
down
yeah.
and use the materials for different things. But don't feel that you have to make a chair because if you do, you're probably going to fall off it a lot.
Bit dangerous that one. But
Exactly.
we've got a task for you guys at home. I was given
Ooh.
like what was I given, like 8 bed springs. Literally, someone took apart a mattress. They're like, you know what? We're gonna keep the bed springs. I've been given like 8, I think. And if you've got any ideas of how we can upcycle them, separately, I want to do 8 different upcycling things with them. I'm going to post a video all about it, but I would love to know your ideas on it. I've done like a windsock already on one, and it's on my Instagram. And I'm going to quickly plug the socials because it just slid
Oh.
right in there. So we've obviously got Instagram, which is imperfect.recyclist, and then Facebook is just imperfect recyclist. We've also got an email if you'd like to get in contact with us with any partnerships, collaborations, or anything like that, or if you just want to have a chat. We're very friendly people, and it's imperfectrecyclist at googlemail.com.
Yeah,
But
Gmail, yeah.
but they'll all be at the end of the video to remind you that if you have anything, please just put it in the comments or message us and get in contact because we would love to know your opinions of what we should do with these bed springs.
And also, Vicky has just forgotten one of the big ones where this is actually going.
Oh, and obviously we've got a YouTube page. How could I forget that?
Woo!
This is where this is on. We will also be doing like upcycling projects, like little tutorials, advice, Q&As if we ever get that big and you want a Q&A. Maybe we'll show our faces. I show it on
Oh,
Instagram all the time, but this is a podcast. It's a little bit different. My hamster, if you can hear it, I do apologise. My little Milson, if you haven't met him before, is in the background.
what's he doing?
He's eating. He's woken up
Oh, I
today.
love him.
I love my hamster, and there is also some different upcycling tips you can do with a hamster, like treat toys with just toilet roll tubes. Very simplistic. If you fancy that, if that tickles your little fancy, we might do that. That sounds fun. I think to me that
That
sounds fun.
definitely sounds like. Yeah, I mean, I reckon there's a few hamster enthusiasts out there that might want to learn about how to use different household materials to make toys. You know, I'm sure there is a few out there.
Why wouldn't you? I know I do.
Exactly. Vicky's there constantly researching it. That's what it is.
What do you mean?
She loves it.
I've got like a whole encyclopedia just full of hamster toys. You
You're
think I'm
terrible.
joking?
You are. No, I'm not. You're terrible.
Let me get it out. Oh,
Just got a whole PDF file.
you love a PDF. But I think we've had a really good episode
Love
today.
a good PDF. I think we have. I think we've had a quite a productive one where we spoke about quite a few relevant things, and you know, and I just hope that we're gonna get a few more sort of responses with when it comes to how we're gonna use the bed springs, because I've researched this and I found that you can use like wine holders, like wine
Yeah,
bottle holders.
I just want to see what their opinions are. I mean, I think I can
Oh
always get more
really?
if I need more. I mean, unless I don't fancy taking my bed apart to get the springs out, to be honest. I don't think mine
I
has
was gonna
springs in
say,
it.
don't be sending us your bed springs, please. We do not want to have tons and tons of bed springs turn up.
No, we don't want
Like,
your mum's
as
complaining to us going,
grateful,
you made my so and so tear their bedsheet apart.
exactly, as much as we would be grateful, we do not want to have to deal with angry parents, angry brothers, angry boyfriends, angry girlfriends. We don't want to
We
be
don't
dealing
want
with
that.
any of that shouting at us saying, "You took my bed apart, you took my bed." We don't want to be dealing with that. We're just podcast people. We're not, we're not here to cause trouble.
We're imperfect, but it should
Exactly.
be our fault.
Yeah, it's not our fault, we promise.
I promise. It wasn't us. If they blame us, just don't listen to this episode.
Exactly.
But if you do want another episode on upcycling, we can always do one. I think there's so much to discuss about upcycling. I don't know what our next podcast is actually about, but please stay tuned. Remember to follow us and like us and subscribe to us on all our socials and even give us a little message on email if you fancy the old fashioned snail mail of the technology world. But yeah, thank you for listening this week with myself, the Imperfect Recyclist, and my wonderful co host, Tyler.
Oh, love it.
And we'll see you next Thursday for another podcast.
See you guys.
Bye.